this program, and with me is
Dili Utomi. Yes, Prince, you talked about the fact that the traffic gridlock is gradually showing its face again around the port corridors. It's a very worrisome one. We know for years what we suffered within the port corridors, trying to access the ports and then evacuating goods from the ports. It was terrible. We wouldn't want to go back to those experiences. And,
we don't want to go back to Israel. To Egypt.
To Egypt. So we don't want to go back to those experiences. Well, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, we are here on the Maritime and Border Show on 90.3 FM VOP Radio. Today, of course, we have a guest in the studio.
Don't tell them who the guest is yet.
Yes, I won't reveal. Let the cat
he's blazing like Donald Trump.
It's raring to go, ready to release those missiles that he has in him. But before that, of course, we have to do the review of the news that made the rounds in the week. Francis.
All right, we'll start with Shippers Council. Shippers Council orders condemn police detention orders on cleared containers. The Nigerian Shippers Council, as the port's economic regulator and other stakeholders, have condemned incessant placement of detention orders on duly cleared containers at the nation's seaports by Maritime Police. This is coming after a series of assurances by the Maritime Police to check such orders that have continued over the years. The port's economic regulator and other stakeholders said such practice by the police is having a big toll on trade facilitation and efficiency on clearance of goods at the nation's ports. According to the stakeholders, the police action is causing increased demurrage, storage charges for shippers, with the effect on the cost of doing business at the ports, which are usually transferred to the final consumers. Speaking at a workshop under the theme Facilitating Port Efficiency, the strategic role of Maritime Police, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Pius Akuta, was full of lamentations that incessant detention orders by police have continued to disrupt cargo dwell time, leading to delays and negative impact on the overall cost of operations. In the workshop organized by the Council in collaboration with the Nigerian Police, Maritime Police Command, Akuta, who was represented on the occasion by the Director of Regulatory Services Department, Mrs. Margaret Ogunaya, said that while it takes only 6 hours to clear containerized cargo at Port of Singapore, 7 days in Lome Port, it takes an average of 21 days or more to clear cargo at the Nigerian ports. Akuta, who observed that though the Council had in the past engaged the leadership of the police to streamline processes, infractions still occur on claims by Maritime Police officers posted to the seaports, who often say that their action was based on intelligence reports. He stated that the purpose of the workshop was to build capacity and enlighten police officers on ports' operation in the area of their statutory role to check abuses. According to him, the Nigerian seaports has constantly been reputed as one of the ports with the longest cargo dwell time in the world. This is so because while it takes only 6 hours to clear containerized cargo in Singapore, 7 days in Lome Port, it takes an average of 21 days or more in Nigerian ports. This, in addition to other factors, consequently affected the Global Perception Index on ease of doing business in Nigerian seaports. This is each time you hear things like this, you ask yourself, why is it that everybody that works in the port makes their own rules? The police will come and make their own rules. MDL will come and make their own rules. SON will come and make their own rules. Everybody, what is government doing? Why do we have so many agencies at the ports? And why do we have so many people delaying? Don't they understand the demurrage that ship importers pay?
Francis, I wish this issue of perception that people have about Nigerian ports, the Global Perception Index on ease of doing business, I hope there's a way they can really educate all these agencies and individuals working for these agencies about the negative effect their actions have on the perception of Nigeria as a place of doing business. One analyst said the predictability index of goods moving in from source to destination, it's very low. I mean, you cannot predict that, oh, you leave this good container leaves this place as a country and arrives in Nigeria to the place of destination at a particular time because of all things like this. It's ridiculous that we keep talking about all this, and every time the police, everybody, like you said, everybody's making his own rule.
Yeah, I'm happy
horrible.
that the Shippers Council is waking up to his responsibility.
I hope they are.
Yes, I'm happy they're doing that, because I would expect more. I just don't think it's going to be something that a workshop will take care of, but I think it's something that a decisive, proactive action, should take care of. I mean, you remember the last 2-3 weeks we've been talking about the semi-border checkpoint and all of that. Yeah. I know that custom have reduced their own to 2, but they're still battling with police and other agencies. So what is going on? Why
the police is adamant they can't reduce?
Yes, but who put them there? Are they not working for the same federal government? Why is it that every security agency in Nigeria, everybody's making their own rules? They don't even care whether the rule affects the integrity of the country, or whether it affects the cost of doing business. They just want to do what they want to do. It appears that the IG of police is not in charge of his men, because if he's in charge of his men, all he needs to do is call them to order, and they will listen. But this is really annoying. This is really, really annoying.
Yeah. Moving on. Other things that made the rounds in the course of the week. NIMASA appoints Adenike Yelulu as registrar of ships for 4-year term. Nigeria's Minister of Marine and Blue Economy has approved the appointment of Barrister Adenike Yelulu as the registrar of ships for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Her appointment is for 4 years and follows the recommendation of the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, that's Dr. Dayo Mobereola. Under the NIMASA Act of 2007, the Registrar of Ships reports directly to the Director General for the administration of the Nigerian Ship Registry. Marine stakeholders say the appointment comes at a time when Nigeria is working to expand its ship registry, boost maritime investment, and align with global best practices. Industry analysts note that strengthening the registry can support higher ship traffic, increase foreign exchange earnings, and improve Nigeria's rating in global maritime circles. Well, that's a good one that somebody specifically has been appointed as the registrar of ships for the country at NIMASA. We are hoping also that this appointment will act to hasten the processes of registration of ships and doing business within the maritime sector.
Yeah, for me it's welcome development, but it still has not answered to the question of why are we not having indigenous ships? Why are we not building ships? Why are Nigerian people not acquiring ships? So you bring in somebody as a registrar, what will she be registering?
Well, the way it is, the ships are not necessarily meant to come from that particular country to be registered. Will they fly the flag of a country? I know that along the West African coast, Liberia is well known for registering most of the ships that are in Africa because of the ease of doing registration there, and the processes and the costs. We have made it so high here in terms of the cost of registering these ships, and that is why the process is very extremely tenuous.
I think the problem of Nigeria, which we must say, is the issue of bottlenecks.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy. We just love bureaucracy. If the world has moved on into technology, we are still doing paperwork. 21st century, we are carrying paper all over the place when we should be using technology to do things. Now you've appointed a registrar for ship. People will start carrying paper all over the place and filling all manner of forms that they can fill online.
I hope not. I really hope not. It goes that way.
All right. Customs tightens oil and gas compliance at KLT to improve vessel handling. The Nigerian Customs Service has launched a new push to improve compliance and streamline petroleum vessel operations at the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal, KLT, following concerns over documentation gaps and delays affecting product movement across Lagos. The move comes as the oil and gas sector remains central to Nigeria's revenue, energy supply, and economic stability. The KLT command on Tuesday met with oil and gas operators to address persistent gaps in regulatory compliance, vessel handling, and jetty operations. Controller E.J. Edaduk, the Customs Area Controller, described petroleum operations as a critical pillar of national revenue generation and energy stability, calling for stricter adherence to documentation and product accountability. She said, "We need transparent documentation, precise product accountability, and prompt customs procedures to ensure seamless discharge, storage, and evaluation of petroleum products." She went further to urge operators to openly highlight operational challenges, promising that customs would refine its processes to promote ease of doing business while safeguarding government revenue. I mean, this is a good one coming from KLT. As you know, KLT is one of the commands that we normally refer to it as a dry port. Yeah, we normally So coming up with this, it's a nice one, and I would say that the current CAC. Controller Joy, she's doing so well. I mean, she's brought a lot of vibrancy to the command since she assumed office, and I hope that the kind of cooperation she needs, especially from the mother ports, to be able to operate, will be given to her.
I can't agree any less with you. I think she's been doing quite wonderfully well at the KLT command. SOAN commends NIMASA for institutional reforms. The Ship Owners Association of Nigeria, SOAN, has lauded the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, for its reforms aimed at strengthening the maritime sector. SOAN President Sonny Eja made the commendation during a working visit to NIMASA, reaffirming the association's commitment to partnering with the Agency for Maritime Industry Development. NIMASA Director General Dr. Dayo Mobirola emphasized the importance of collaboration and shared capacity development for industry growth. The visits highlighted the shared commitment of both parties to deepen collaboration and capacity building in Nigeria's maritime industry.
Yeah, I'm happy that ship owners association, they are beginning to come out, and then they're beginning to forge an alliance that would see a better economic value to the coffers of the Nigerian government, and as well to themselves. So it's a welcome development.
We keep talking about the issue of the CVFF being disbursed here. It's high time they start, talking with NIMASA, the gatekeepers for the CVFF fund, so that the modalities for releasing these funds and strengthening the hands of ship owners and getting them to get their own ship in order to boost economic activities within and in the hands of Nigerians within the maritime sector. It's a worthy thing to do.
Interestingly, NIMASA has been making all manner of promises. Tomorrow the banks will release. Next tomorrow we have appointed banks. I mean, they've been going on and on and on. And I keep asking, is it that the funds is no longer there? Or is it that they're just finding it difficult to release the funds? Or is it that those who have been applying for the funds do not meet the criteria?
Not holding brief for anybody. But I think that the major problem here is that the equity share for the investors, maybe I think it's about 20 or 30%. It's most investors cannot or are not willing to cover the 30% share, and you know that ship ownership, ship acquisition is capital intensive. So for them to cover the 30% that they need to cover out in order for the CVFF fund to be disbursed to them, it's a very big one for them.
But since NIMASA has have said several that they have appointed some banks, so why don't they work hand in gloves with the banks to ensure that whoever is applying is somebody who already has
that the banks can also guarantee
exactly
their 30%.
Yes,
that's a way of doing it.
So I don't know why we don't know
what is really happening.
No, but we keep going back and forth, and that's the annoying part of it. Policies just keep somersaulting here and there, and nobody's taking responsibility. All right, ASEA Pact Summit closes. African Customs Administrations commit to stronger cooperation against non-tariff barriers. The Nigerian Customs Service has concluded a 3-day engagement tagged the Customs Partnership for Africa Cooperation in Trade (CPACT) Summit on 19th of November 2025 in Abuja. The summit brought together customs chiefs, policy experts, private sector players from across the continent to advance the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area (AFTA). Speaking at the event, CGC Adeniyi said the summit had provided Africa with a credible platform to move from fragmented efforts to collective solutions, stressing that the resolutions reached would guide customs administrations in strengthening border procedures, improving compliance systems, and reducing the long-standing non-tariff barriers that slow cross-border trade. He noted that CPACT initiative, which Nigeria proposed and championed, will now serve as a working mechanism for African Customs Administration to engage regularly, share operational experiences, and harmonize processes in support of AFTA. The Vice President Kashim Shettima, representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, urged African countries to dismantle structural barriers to trade and adopt a continent-wide framework that supports competitiveness, industrial growth, and stable cross-border commerce. Similarly, the Secretary General of the World Customs Organization, Ian Saunders, reminded the participants that customs authorities remain central to the success of AFTA because they connect borders, enforce standards, and determine practical realities of trade. Private sector actors, including freight operators, manufacturers, logistic firms, port administrators, and exporters, also made contributions during the summit, drawing attention to delays, inconsistent procedures, and documentation hurdles that continue to discourage intra-African trade. On his part, the national president of the Association of Licensed Custom Agents, Emenike Kinsley Nwokoji, stated that the summit provided the first opportunity in years for customs managers and economic operators to jointly examine operational constraints. I mean, when we look at issues like this, we know that Nigeria is a country that cannot be toyed with. And that's
not.
Yes, and that when with all the things that are happening around us, the kidnappings, the killings, we keep asking, for how long will this continue? When we have a lovely initiative like this, when we're trying to bring the African continent together, and we're having our own internal problems that is eating us up, so a lot needs to be done, and our government needs to be proactive in addressing a lot of these issues that hinder, intra-African trade.
Yeah. Simply put, Oyetola makes final diplomatic push for Nigeria's IMO Council seat in London. Nigeria intensified its final round of diplomacy ahead of next week's crucial election into Category C of the International Maritime Organization (IMO) Council, with the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Dr. Adigboyega Oyetola, delivering a persuasive appeal to delegates at a well-attended lunch reception on Thursday at the IMO headquarters in London. The event, which drew representatives from more than 150 countries, formed a major pillar of Nigeria's last outreach efforts before the council election scheduled for Friday, 28th of November 2025. Addressing ambassadors, alternate permanent representatives, and maritime policymakers, Oyetola said Nigeria is not just a contender, but as a country whose actions in maritime security, environmental responsibility, and blue economy reforms have directly advanced global seaborne trade. He stressed that Nigeria's candidature rests on tangible achievements rather than promises, noting that the country has demonstrated consistent leadership in improving safety across the Gulf of Guinea. In his appeal for support, Minister Oyetola invited countries to lend Nigeria their trust, friendship, and votes, stressing that the nation stands ready to contribute constructively to the Council's work across safety, security, environmental stewardship, and maritime development. He reaffirmed Nigeria's dedication to a future where all coastal and seafaring nations, regardless of size, benefit from secure oceans and open trade routes. This is also a good one. A last attempt at getting Nigeria to register in the category C of the IMO Council. It's we have been on it for quite a while now, and I hope this attempt by the Minister for Blue and Marine Economy yields fruit this time around.
Yeah, like I've always said, we have quite a number of ministers that are doing so well, that are projecting the country. But as we know, looking at this issue of insecurity that has held us down, one keep wondering if the desire of being registered for Category C will see the light of day, because it's really.
So you are saying that we should put the horse before the cart. That's make sure that we have proper security. Make sure that all the things that need to be put in place are put in place.
Exactly.
It's
we keep jumping the gun in Nigeria. We're so much in a hurry. A woman that we know that the pregnancy will be 9 months, she should give birth in 9 months, at least 8 months. But we want her to deliver in 5 months, And we're not addressing the critical issues that need to be addressed.
Although, but not giving, not holding brief for the government again. I think the NIMASA with the Deep Blue project a few months ago celebrated about 2-3 years of no piracy issue on the Nigerian coastal waters.
But no. If you talk about piracy, talk about what's going on in the Niger Delta. We know piracy is still operating there. We know that.
No.
We may play it down. We may play it down because we're very good at doing that. But you cannot rule out the menace of piracy.
There has not been reported cases of piracy.
Between you and I, we know that it's not everything that happens in this country that gets reported. So let us not even go there. Let us not go there. All right. Apapa Port Management to audit wharf road congestion. Target unapproved trucks. The Lagos Port Complex has announced plans to conduct a road audit along Wharf Road to identify and remove trucks not authorized to access the port in a bid to ease congestion and restore order to Apapa traffic corridors. Port Manager Adebowale Lawal Ibrahim disclosed the initiative while addressing concerns over indiscriminate truck parking and shunting practices that have worsened gridlock around the port. According to Ibrahim, trucks legally destined for the port are expected to queue on a single orderly line from the port gate to Area B, leaving one lane open for other road users. However, the following issues have been observed to be altering the above arrangement. Some truck drivers bypass the queue, blocking access for others. Vehicles not destined for the port join the line while waiting for truck delivery orders, TDOs, or seeking jobs, and that some trucks occupy both lanes, obstructing traffic flow into the port. On enforcement collaboration, he noted that the audit will be conducted by the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) in conjunction with the police and the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority (LASMA), who will help enforce compliance and drive unauthorized trucks off the road. I mean, for me, any truck, and I want to put emphasis on it, any truck that is unauthorized, that is blocking the road, should not just be moved from the road. It should be impounded, and a fine that is commensurate with that is imposed. We cannot have truck drivers behaving like mad people on the roads. I mean, we cannot. I had 2-3 weeks back, we almost pushed off the road by a truck driver. The guy was coming from nowhere. Maybe he was drunk or something like that. But we need to have discipline. We need to have order amongst our truck drivers and those who operate the trucks. We need to have order. If you decide to block the road, I am asking LASMA, I'm asking police, I'm asking the Nigerian Ports Authority, impound the truck and even sell it, auction it out. Maybe we need to do that to have sanity in that industry.
Okay. Francis, I think that would be to the extreme anyway. But there needs to be sanity. The The Nigerian police has is coming out to talk about the worsening case of traffic jam in the wharf corridors, the port corridors, and it's actually, fortunately, what we are going to talk about today. But ask yourself, what are the contributory factors to all this? The congestion at the ports. There's a whole lot of issues that are contributory to that, and well, maybe when we talk to our guests today, we'll shed more light on it. But for now, let's limit what we say about that now, because we have about 1.5 hours to talk about that for the day. Now, Port Authority Police arrest 7 suspects for over serial attacks on international vessels in Lagos. The Port Authority Police, that's the Western Port Authority Police Command, has arrested 7 individuals allegedly linked to recent attacks on international vessels operating within Lagos port corridors. The arrests were made during a routine patrol on 16 November 2025 at approximately 1:30 hours near the Ports and Terminal Multi-Services Limited, that's the PTML waterfront. Operatives of the Marine Unit intercepted a suspicious speedboat near the Liberian-flagged vessel CL Yinya HE, betted at Bet 12. Initially, 3 individuals were seen aboard, while 4 others were discovered lying flat on the boat deck, apparently attempting to conceal themselves. The suspects were observed stretching a long bamboo pole toward the vessel, indicating an attempt to gain unauthorized access. When questioned, the 7 individuals failed to provide any credible explanation for their presence within the restricted port area. During a thorough search, police recovered a range of tools and equipment, including a heavy iron cutter, saw blades, a bamboo stick with a steel hook, a long ship rope, 31 assorted spanners, screwdrivers, a plier, plastic bucket, and a speedboat fitted with a 60 HP Yamaha engine. Authorities noted that the arrested suspects' activities mirror the modus operandi of recent attacks on international vessels, including the Hong Kong-flagged MV Rigi Venture at Bet 8, Sifak Sports and Cargo Terminal on 21st October. The Korean-flagged MV Glovis Cosmos at Bet 10, 5-Star Logistics Terminal, Tinkan Island on November 14th. And the Liberian-flagged CL Yinya HE at Bet 12 PTML Grimaldi Terminal on 15th November. I thought the days of what they call the wharf rats had been put behind us. Why is it recurring again?
The economy, current economic situation has given rise to it, where you have so much unemployment, you have poverty, you have hunger. So all of these are playing out, and it's not what it is. But we're not giving excuses, but we're saying that these are factors you can't rule out.
Yeah, but then again, the ports, the activities at the ports, a lot of the places have been concessioned, and then you have private players, and you expect to have better security now than we hitherto had. And so this thing should I do not expect to be hearing or seeing this. This
is Nigeria. You have all manner of people. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you cannot excuse it. But the truth is that when you look at the economic situation, there are certain things you cannot just wish away. They must come, and this is what causes it.
That's terrible.
Right. Renewed hope for Nigeria sport as FAVEN intensify anti-corruption crusade. The Freight Anti-Corruption Vanguard of Freight Forwarders of Nigeria, FAFEN, has taken a significant step towards tackling the endemic corruption in Nigerian ports by reinstating its national operational structure. This move is aimed at promoting integrity, transparency, and ethical conduct in freight forwarding operations nationwide. According to the national chairman of FAVEN, Dr. Increase O. Uche, the reactivation of the anti-corruption vanguard has become necessary due to the alarming rise in extortion, trade malpractices, and systematic abuse of authority by government officials across Nigerian ports. Speaking during a press briefing at NAGAF headquarters, Lagos, recently, Dr. Uche stated that the Hydra-headed challenges within Nigeria's cargo clearance value chain have become too pervasive to ignore. The renewed mandate is strengthened by a recent one-day training and sensitization workshop conducted in Lagos in partnership with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. To combat corruption at the source, Faven outlined 5 major focus areas. These include promoting strict adherence to anti-corruption standards and global best practices through ethical compliance. The organization also aims to deepen collaboration with ICPC and other oversight bodies through strategic partnership. Additionally, Faven plans to advance industry-wide education through workshops and advocacy programs, establish safe channels for reporting on ethical activities, and push for simplified procedures that reduce bureaucracy and curb corruption through policy reform advocacy. I mean, well, everybody's been talking about the corruption
Anti-corruption.
No, not even that. I'm talking about the corruption within the industry, especially within the customs clearing and all of that, and with all the bottlenecks here and there, this corruption can't go away so easily, But we hope that people will work in harmony, with government agencies to ensure that the ease of doing business is as easy as government wants us to believe.
Yeah, that's another anti-corruption initiative they're being launched, and I hope they look to realize the visions that they have set out to achieve. The Maritime Red Alert. Okay, Maritime Red Alert. Captain Oluboale demands end to fake licenses, crew theft, systemic failures. President of the African Ship Owners Association of Nigeria, ASAN, Captain Ladi Uluboale, has issued a strong call for sweeping reforms across Nigeria's maritime governance structure, warning that fake certifications, unchecked crew misconduct, and weak accountability mechanisms are undermining national security, industry professionalism, and investor confidence. Speaking at the 2025 Nigerian Maritime Expo, NIMAREX, Uluboale said the sector is at a critical turning point and must embrace digital verification systems, stronger public-private partnerships, and deliberate reforms to reposition Nigeria as a credible global maritime hub. He raised concerns over the proliferation of forged certificates, noting that Nigeria's current verification process is too porous and vulnerable to manipulation. He proposed the creation of a secure government-owned digital portal where all competency certificates issued to masters and officers, local or foreign, will be uploaded for public verification. Today, anyone can walk into Oluwole and print a certificate, and there is no credible process to verify it, he said. Every certificate should be accessible on a maritime administration portal. If an employer wants to verify, they log in, pay a fee, and confirm. That is the global standard. Uluboale also expressed alarm over repeated cases of crew and captains stealing products at sea, often without facing any penalties. He described a cycle where offenders are simply dismissed and moved on to new vessels to repeat the same criminal acts. A master steals products today and gets fired. Tomorrow he joins another vessel and does the same thing. There is no reporting structure, no penalty, no trace, he lamented. To curb this, he called for a national maritime misconduct database, enabling authorities to blacklist offenders and prevent them from being rehired without scrutiny. If a mariner commits a criminal act, it must be reported and logged. Employers should see that record before making hiring decisions, he said. I mean, it makes sense. If we are having crew members manage ships and they're stealing things from the ship, and maybe they are caught, and you simply move on to the next ship, please apply, and then you get employed without a record of all your indiscretions being known, I mean, the process will continue. There's got to be a way of recording what has been done by who, so that I think there's even in our laws, I think there's a way we can check if somebody has been jailed for something, for a particular offense before.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. And when you talked about going to Oluwole to obtain certificate, I mean, that really got me laughing. But the truth of the matter is that when you have a situation,
it's become the norm.
Yeah, when you have a situation where database is a problem, the problem is that we don't have a database. We don't even know. Like we keep, you and I will sit down here. We don't even know how many we are as Nigerians. We need to wait for United Nations, UNICEF, and other foreign bodies to tell us, oh, we think you guys are about 230 or 200 million,
or 250 million.
But I mean, this is revealing. It simply shows you that government needs to do more. It's not just about politicizing everything, but it's about getting the job done. They need to do more. They need to sit up and ensure that we have a database that works. We need it.
Yeah.
All right. A group, National Compliance Joint Task Force of License Clearing Agents, has taken up the challenge to eliminate illegal checkpoints set up by customs and other agencies on our roads, primarily designed to extort Nigerians and indirectly increase the cost of living in the country. The groups, made up of clearing agents, security personnel, and other well-meaning Nigerians, also vowed to stop illegal seizures of duly cleared consignments at the ports by operatives of the Customs Federal Operations Unit, FOU, affirming that these illegalities have put Nigeria in a bad light among Committee of Nations. Speaking during a courtesy visit to the Maritime Reporters Association of Nigeria, MARAM, International Conference Center, Apapa, Lagos, the president of the association, Dr. Basi Uchudi, noted that part of the visit was to seek a partnership with MARAM to help expose these illegalities and nip them in the bud. According to him, the Nigerian port industry is currently facing numerous man-made challenges, primarily stemming from human weaknesses, adding, the most pressing issues include non-compliance with established rules and regulations such as the alert system, deliberate withholding of container deposit refunds by shipping companies, frequent arrests and seizures by FOU of containers duly examined and released by authorized customs officers and other federal government agencies, delays experienced by custom clearance agents at the hands of terminal operators, and extortion of Nigerian trucks on highways. These challenges have become an embarrassment to our country before international trade community. I mean, we know that there's so much corruption, with every structure of the in every structure of the economy. I mean, you have the police, you have the customs, you have the NDLA, the corruption is alarming. We can't throw it away, So we know, we know it's there. So, but we hope that things will work out.
Yeah. Moving further, CGC conference, Customs Boss harps on personal integrity, professionalism. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adiwale Adini, has charged personnel of the service to uphold integrity in the discharge of their duties. Adini made a call on Thursday in Abuja at the opening of the 2025 Comptroller General of Customs Conference, themed Building Future Partnerships, Lessons from Customs, Partnership for Africa Cooperation in Trade, PACT Conference. Adeni said the two-day CGC conference sought to build on the gains from the CPACT conference in promoting trade facilitation and implementing the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFTA, which relied on its operational integrity. You can't sustain external credibility without internal integrity. So this conference is turning the mirror on ourselves, not to criticize for the sake of it, but to honestly assess where we are, acknowledge what is not working, and together commit ourselves to fixing them, he said. According to him, the NCS needs to coordinate its operations better as actively as effectively implementing good policies is dependent on consistency, discipline, and constant capacity building. We have technology that works brilliantly in one location, and this same technology sits unused in some other places. Of course, that's it's speaking the obvious. The CPAC conference just ended, and then they entered into the CGC conference, which is a localized version of the CPAC thing, where the custom heads all meet for a day or two to talk about issues that will help to advance the courses of the service, and then continue to reposition the service to do better in terms of delivering on their mandates of protecting the national economy, the trade facilitation, and of course revenue generation. And the CGC is talking about, he's somebody who is always very thinking about innovation, doing whatever thing he's doing. And he's making the point here that, of course, we can't be using technology in one place and then you leave it dormant in another. Nigeria has to key into what the world is doing in order for us to maximize whatever benefits that are derivable from various areas that we are engaged in.
Yeah, for me, it's I've always appreciated the CGC. He's one man that is I call him Mr. Innovation. He's always chunking out innovations and all of that. So I'm happy with that, and I'm happy that this year's CGC is focusing on customs. He's focusing on themselves. Let them check where they're doing what they're doing well and the ones they're not doing well, and be able to do something about it. So I'm happy about that. I'm also happy. I'm also going to say this to the CGC as he gathers with all his men and women in service delivery to Nigerians as far as the Nigerian custom is concerned. The CGC needs to take a drastic decision regarding the status of KLT. Yeah, they need to take a decision on KLT. KLT is a dry port that survives
from other ports.
Yeah, from other, especially Apapa, Tinkan, and now Lekki. And I think Ikorodu too is becoming coming alive. But the thing is, the CGC needs to take a drastic decision. And that decision is to be able to decide what they want to do with KLT. You can't have a command that has a controller that needs to be going, hand in caps. Yeah, I mean, she keeps going to beg. She keeps calling the CSC in Tinkan, calling the one in Apapa for them to release containers to her. And then, those ones, they just bring up so many rules. I mean, they make it, they put up stringent.
Extremely difficult for them.
Yeah, for them to move containers. And then I ask question. This is the same command. This is a command. If you're saying that there are certain rules that should be obeyed, why don't you allow the containers to get to the command and let the command apply the same rules? Why hold on to the command and the containers? So the CGC needs to look into it, because it's affecting, the men and women you have in KLT. They're becoming redundant by the day. So if you want to take away everything from them and make them redundant, then you're wasting taxpayers' money. So I'm appealing to CGC and then please do something about the status of KLT.
Let me ask you a question that some of our audiences may not. Maybe you can answer this question as somebody who's also a kind of industry person. Why is it that you cannot have ships berthing at KLT? Is it because they do not have the water around them? They do.
Yeah, they don't. They don't have the depth of water
that they need.
Yes.
But they also have terminals that are close to where they can.
Like Webster.
Yes.
Yes, but so what happens is maybe it's shipping lines will not go to where
it's not known.
Not only known.
Businesses cannot be easily.
Not only that, but where they cannot have a proper betting place to facilities. So that's it. But ideally, if that since the case is that KLT is a dry port, why don't you?
That's technically speaking. It's not actually a dry spot, but technically speaking,
yeah.
Because ships do not bet there. That's why it's a dry spot.
Yeah, so why don't you say, okay, talk to all the mother ports like Apapa, Tinkan, the CAC, and say, look, each time you have a transire coming from KLT, release it. It's the same custom. So except you're saying that there's an incompetent relationship or there's some level of incompetency in KLT that you're not able to address. But so long as it's the same customs, release the boxes to them. Let them be, let the controller take responsibility. I mean, that's the way it should be done. So, good afternoon, listeners. Welcome to Maritime and Border Show. We've been reading you the news, so Nigerian news, they give headache. When you start time, you go just, while we're busy talking about the news, our guest was, at some
Nothing
point.
He said taking points.
Yes, he was taking points. Because, say, he came here, we go hit him now, and now I don't wait for him, so.
He's eager to.
No, let him cool down,
This is the border, this is the Maritime and Border Show with Dilio Tommy
and Prince Chilaka. All right, so it's already 1:18, and this is VOP. Like we say, VOP is the only radio station that allows you to bear your mind, the radio station that educates you, the radio station that informs you. We're actually the best radio station in Nigeria. I give it to VOP. If you're not
without doubt,
if you're not tuned to VOP right now,
you are missing.
And if you're not logged on to VOP 24 hours, you're missing a lot. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna introduce our guest. He's been here once. He's been here once.
Yeah, he's into the trucking business, the maritime trucking business, and he's actually the secretary of one of the associations, Maritime Truckers Association. His name is Colin Ekenedike. He's a young man who's been in the business for quite some time, and he's so eager because he speaks passionately about all things that concerns the maritime sector. He's eager to
calm down, leave the introduction. I won't hit him. As in body they hurt, not so my own they hurt. Collins, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you back on this show. Yes. But let me start. Why are you guys so stubborn? The people within your industry. Why do you like creating Gridlock in Apapa?
Well, good afternoon, listeners. Thank you for having me once again.
You're very much welcome
in your studio. You from the question you asked, you said why are we stubborn, right? And I would specifically like for you to kind of expand the question when you mean why are we stubborn?
I mean the truck operators.
The truck operators. Going straight to the answer, we are not stubborn. We are law-abiding operators. We are law-abiding citizens. And it will still be in the best interest of our understanding and the general public understanding for you to maybe, point out maybe certain areas, examples of, this is where you consider us stubborn and not able to obey the rules and regulations, so we can know how to proceed from there. But I will say it specifically and categorically that we are not stubborn. We are law-abiding. Truckers are law-abiding citizens and also have equal rights as other road users.
Okay, the port manager, I would like to quote him, port manager Adebowale Lawal Ibrahim, has disclosed that over indiscriminate truck parking and shunting practices have worsened Gridlock along the port. According to him, trucks legally destined for the port are expected to queue on a single order line from the port gate to Area B, leaving one lane open for other road users. But that you guys have always done what you want to do. And that some of you just remove your trucks, you park it in the middle of the road, you don't care about other people, other road users. And that's why I say you guys are stubborn. Because if you do that in a civilized society, for me, I would advocate that such a truck should be towed and auctioned. Okay. Maybe when we do that, a lot of things will fall in place.
Okay. Thank you very, very much for this very important question. Now, in this country, we like to take things maybe because it affects the way it affects you directly without looking at the genesis of this problem. This is something that we've been preaching all this while, that the Nigerian Port Authority has been putting the cart before the horse. And because we are the easiest people, I mean that's maritime transporters, maritime truckers, we are the easiest people to always push the blame to. Reason being that we've been technically divided, we've been technically made unable to make any serious move. In the maritime sector, maritime trucking sector, we have over 20, 30, 40, 50 unions. Everybody speaking from the different side of the mouth. Now you see, first of all, the port manager has indicted.
Sorry. You say you've been technically, is it balkanized? What's the word?
Balkanized, divide and rule.
Okay. Why do you guys allow that?
Because they will always quote the Nigerian Constitution. There is freedom of association. When it favors them, they will say that there is freedom of association. They can. I've said it repeatedly on different fora. These people can emanate people from their villages to come and form one union and association. And because of the nature of the business that we do, it's very difficult for you to always attend all these meetings because you're there fixing one or two things. So these guys have been able to balkanize us, divide us so indiscriminately. So this has been happening over the years. What has led to this? They came up with this electronic call-up. By the way, the port manager has shot himself in the foot. With the advent of electronic call-up, are we supposed to queue on the port access road? That should be the question. They created the parks. They created the pre-gates. When they marketed this whole call-up to us, they said, yes, we are going to move from our parks straight to the port. Why is the port manager now saying that we are supposed to queue on the port access road? That should be the question. Even after rendering some unsolicited services that we do not essentially need. I pay over millions and some pay over money rendering into millions for parks and garages. But these services are being impinged on us to use the garage of their cronies. Now, after using these garages of their cronies, we are still mandated to come and queue along the port access road. That's what we've been saying, that the whole call-up of the thing has been inefficient. So there is no reason, I see no reason for having any truck to queue, not to the point of the port manager himself saying that the trucks are supposed to queue on the port access road. If I've followed the whole directive of the electronic call-up, I am supposed to access the seaports without having any further hindrance. So why queuing again on the port access road? That means there are some forms of failure in the part of the electronic call-up system. Why moving out trucks from different points? Do you understand? So everything boils down on the system itself, of which we've been saying for a very long time.
So there's a conflict there. If a port manager could be saying, you guys should come out to queue on the road, on one lane, while you are saying that the call-up system is supposed to move you guys from Brigade directly to the
seaport, yes.
So why is he making such a statement? And why the traffic we are not having? Is it not the cause of the traffic allowing people to go out indiscriminately into the streets like that without following the call-up system? The
call-up system is supposed to control the movement of the trucks. Okay, maybe if we have over 300 trucks on the port access roads, who is to be blamed? Because the call-up systems allow them to access the port access road. Let me still give you an instance. In this whole maritime, they do not regard us. They do not consider us as anybody because they've divided us. I'll give you an instance. Sometime in the years back, when Muhammad Buhari was coming to the seaports to commission one or two, do you know that within 24 hours, over 400, 500 trucks were turned back to their garages? Over 400 trucks, 500, if not more than that, we are turned back. Economically, nobody compensated us for this. These are the trucks that have followed the normal routine and the normal directive, the due process. Nobody compensated us. Please, in that instance, you were making some statement that they should be auctioned off, they should be told off. Please, in that instance, who is to be penalized?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now that you're throwing back the question, let me ask you a question. For your truck to leave the park,
exactly,
it means that there's a call-up.
Yes.
So if there are, say, 100 call-ups,
okay,
and the Nigeria Ports Authority is calling them out and is saying, take one side to be able to gain access, is there anything wrong with that?
There is everything wrong with it.
In what way?
Everything wrong with it.
In what way?
Now, if you're coming out from a park, you're expected to access another layer of control. They call it pre-gate. And that pre-gate means almost to the gate. And from the rules that we've had of MPA, pre-gates are supposed to be within the port, area. Now, because from the pre-gate, you move directly to the port. And what has been happening over the years? MPA has refused to read rightly the tea leaves. They pretend to be asleep. They know what they are doing. Everything is technically directed towards revenue generation. They've completely...
Wait, hold on, please. When you say revenue generation, don't you pay for the ETO, the call-up?
Of course.
So what other revenue are we looking at?
The whole system of the electronic call-up, the ETO system, of course, I wouldn't go deeper into it.
No.
It's a subject
of... Wait,
okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
And I want us to stand on that question.
Okay.
You have already talked about the fact that ETO, that's the call-up system,
okay,
is paid for.
Yes.
So when you pay for the ETO, you are now asked to come out.
Okay.
So when you come out and you're on the queue to enter, you now say that they do all this because of revenue. What other revenue are they generating while you're on the queue other than from the one from the ETO?
Yes, over the past few years, there has been illegal collection of monies on the port access road. It was there yesterday. As we speak, it's still happening.
Who collects the money?
Different agencies.
Is it the money they collect? Do they issue you receipts?
Unreceipted.
So why do you give it to them?
Of course, you have to give it to them because if you don't give it to them, they will obstruct you from moving.
So are you saying that it is the Nigerian Ports Authority officials that are responsible for this? Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Are you saying it's the Nigerian Ports Authority officials that are responsible, or is it touts that are collecting this money?
We categorize them into state and non-state actors, and in some instances, both the non-state actors are working covertly with the state actors. That has been happening. Let me give you an instance. There is a popular park. They call it Lily Pond.
Yeah.
Lily Pond.
Yeah.
If you're having a truck and you want to access that park, you have to pay to the non-state actors. It's happening there up till today. Even in Abat, it has been happening.
Lily Pond is supposed to be a pre-gate.
Of course, it's a pre-gate. You have to pay. In almost all the terminals, what these people do is they look the other way while these other people are doing their own thing. And tomorrow they will need people to come and masquerade as stakeholders. They will still bring in these same people that are doing this thing and they are looking the other way to come and say, yes, we are the stakeholders and we are agreeing to this.
In other words, you're saying that the Nigerian Ports Authority officials are complicit in this?
Of course, they are complicit, 100%.
This is... Wow, this is...
the Maritime Border Show with Dilio Tommy.
I mean, this is the bomb. All right, so... Now you've established, in your own words, that the Nigerian Ports Authority officials are the ones behind the gridlock.
Exactly.
How do we resolve this?
We've been saying this for quite a long time. The concept of call-up all over the world has been that the terminal operators are supposed to be the ones in charge of issuing this call-up.
Okay.
Because as a landlord, MPA is the landlord. You do not have the right, you do not have the moral standing to dictate who visits your tenant, or who your tenant associates with, or who your tenant does business with. Because that is what the Nigerian Port Authority is doing. Let me give you an instance. Some time ago, APMT complained that their terminal, they had a fire outbreak. Mm-hmm. Now, without proper communication, this company called this electronic company, ETO, will still be flooding trucks. And what do you think will happen? Because the truck won't be able to be attended to.
They won't be serviced.
They won't be serviced. There will be this long queue. And in almost all the inefficiencies that have not been due to our own cause, they always come up with apologies, we kindly apologize. Who has ever penalized them? Who has ever auctioned their properties? Who has ever in any way tried to enforce anything? But when it gets to us, Because people are big, you see them, the trucks, the drivers, the way they behave. We are easy to say penalize them, tow them, auction their trucks. But in all their own inefficiency, nobody has ever. All we get is that we kindly, you know how they put these things.
Okay, you know what?
You guys are also under the control of the economic regulators of the ports, are you not?
Okay, economic. That's the Shippers Council.
Yes.
Those ones sitting on their hands. Shippers Council. Shippers. Honestly, we are at the base. I've said it before. They do not regard us. We are the base. Yes, before us. You see the freight forwarders. You see the agents and all the rest. So honestly, they consider us as arboros. In most of the meetings, attendance, the only advantage I've seen with Shippers Council is the rice and turkey that they give to me if I attend their meetings. And most times, let me say it, most times the meeting has no positive impact on our business. The other time they called us for a price review. Shippers Council will equally call us when the prices are high, maybe when they are running from ports to Ikeja for 1 million, they will tell us the prices are too high. We will still do something. We'll try to talk to our members and the rest. But when the prices are below ebb, Shippers Council will call us and we want to implement this, but there has been no strategic step, there has been no singular step for them to effect anything concerning the truckers.
Now, talking about Shippers Council, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. What are your expectations from Shippers Council?
We expect that the Shippers Council, as the economic regulators, they are supposed to be the one that will say, pay 10 naira, pay 5 naira for this call-up. This call-up is a thing. Who confirms the price that is to be paid? They never consulted us. They never told us. They called the same people that pseudo truckers, pseudo stakeholders, and do their jamboree and come out with whatever that they've agreed. The stakeholders have agreed, and we've told them that
I'm saying that they actually rent crowd to represent.
They do more than renting crowd. They bring their villagers or whomever. We think that's what they do because let me tell you, an average truck, because I'm technical too, an average truck has over 20,000 moving parts. So you are able to manage the control system. If you're not talking about propeller, you're talking about the axle, you're talking about the top cylinder, you're thinking about the welfare of the driver. Have you gotten to you don't have time to attend these meetings that they do. But these people, they always cap in hand every day attending meetings, and they are there representing their own self-interest.
All right. You see, when you just talked about the different compartments of the truck.
Okay.
What role does the roads play in safeguarding these trucks?
The road that we ply on?
Yes.
Okay. Of course, we know the condition of the roads in Nigeria. The roads are not too well to, operate. But because of the ruggedity in us, as truckers, as transporters, we've been able to do some maneuverings so that we can be able to ply the road successfully. I'll give you some technical ones. Some trucks used to operate on balloons and the balloon system, but most times when they get to Nigeria, we change it to tougher springs and all the rest. So we've been able to we can't be complaining all day because nobody listens to us. The government and government agencies prefers image over impact. That is the truth. Everybody wants, how am I projected? How is the media seeing me? So that everything is now everything is purposely and intentionally crafted to elicit the journalist. Image over impact. So we've decided, okay, since we've gotten this, what can we do to assist our business? Then also, in the aspect of drivers, we've been able to caution our drivers, see, this thing, you're carrying a heavy tonnage, you're carrying you're moving a full company. A full company is moving on the road. So you have to be very careful, both in terms of human lives and human properties. So we've also done our possible bets, but in the past of the government, it has always been image over impact.
Okay, let me ask you this. You're talking about image, you're talking about impact. How has government been able to curb the menace of touts on the road? Have they been able to help you curb it for you guys to have a free flow?
Okay, government has not been able to completely curb the menace of thugs. They are still operating everywhere in this country. Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So now what they do is, in some instances, we go to them, we meet them, and we complain, and they will always tell us, bring evidence. I don't know if somebody is robbing a bank and another person is telling you to go and bring evidence to God. So you go and position your camera to snap the person. This has been their response. They have been somewhat lethargic whenever it comes to this issue of touting. As sometime, whether 2 or 3 months ago, we were with them at Alausa and at different forums. We know what they say to us. And most times the meeting just ends there.
Are you saying that the government is completely deluded, or the government don't seem to have the political will to get this guy?
They don't have the political will to get them off completely from the road. Yes, they've been able to achieve some little, because at a point it was so bad that some group came up to say that they are going to shut the port, and it required the influence of our will I call it, our fellow citizens in Abuja. I think they
our
said,
senior citizen.
They said whether one SGF or somebody to make an authorization, and the police started working with us and they started clearing them off. But we still have them in different strategic places. I could name them in Amu, Odofi, everywhere. They are still there doing this.
Now this money they collect, who takes the money?
It goes into private pockets, of course. And let me tell you, these monies are completely illegal. They are not enshrined in our constitution, in our laws. It is completely illegal. And I've been able to prove it to them everywhere. It is even the local governments do not have the right to man or to cause obstruction on you. Nobody has the right. I've been able, his Tax and Levies Act is there, everywhere is there.
Now, my man, it's you talk about things like this with passion, so much passion, but there's still not to be enough spotlight from the way you're talking on these issues that are raising, the challenges you guys face on the road.
Okay.
How come some of you, although you said that your association is being balkanized, but don't you think that there should be a way of putting more spotlight on some of these things, like talking to the press a little bit more? I mean, this is just one of the few occasions where I get to know what you guys are feeling about what's happening.
Well,
don't you have meetings? Don't you have, a kind of a meeting with the press, meet the press, and then telling people what you guys are going through?
Well, of course.
Because what you're describing sounds hellish.
Okay, we've done our possible best, as individuals and business operators. It still falls back to what I told you initially, that the whole essence of the Nigerian Port Authority and all the government agencies preferring for unions, groups and associations to be organized is so that most times you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the financial muscle to continue this massive publicity. Of course, it doesn't come cheap. So that they've been able to achieve. But we in Kirikiri, we looked at it and we brought about like minds, whatever we can do. We are having our talks, we go to the press, we've been going to the press. But at times, most times you need something to push this thing continuously. And we've been able to use different other media forums to advance our cause. But it's quite unfortunate that the government pretends not to hear us, though we know they are listening and they hear us, but they pretend not to hear us. They always pretend that whatever we are saying is inconsequential to the national, not knowing that this affects the whole ecosystem. Because whenever you do your shipment or whatever, you still need the truck to deliver it to the final destination, to the market, to the warehouse, and everywhere. So all government agencies, they see us as the last people to when you pass the bulk, push the blame. Just push it to these people. They are not organized. They can't even respond officially. They can't even talk. Even when they talk, it will require another of their operator to come and counter talk or counter say whatever they are saying. So that's what has been happening in the industry. And it's even clear to the blind that what this man is saying is actually what is playing out But because of stomach infrastructure, we've been able to have, even your closest neighbor will say, no. The same thing is affecting him. But he will come and say, no, all this guy is saying, no. Let me give you an instance. Let me give you a clear instance. What is happening in River State now is absurd. This same electron, do you continue to drink paracetamol even after you don't have I'm sorry for mentioning the brand because it's a popular brand. I'm very sorry.
Paracetamol is the right word. That's the right word.
No, they have not paid us.
Paracetamol is a drug, not a brand name.
Okay, it's not a brand name.
Yeah, it's not a
Okay,
brand
do you continue to take medications even after the illness has gone? Even after you are better?
Of course not.
So if the Nigerian Port Authority claims that the port Eto is good, so why continue administering this financial toll on us? In Port Harcourt, River State, they've started this call-up, and to our greatest dismay, most of all the unions, everybody is coming to sing praises. In River State, there is no single traffic. There is no traffic in River State. Now, you ask yourself, in the design of the ports that we have in this country, there is to be a place where that is designated for the parking of trucks. In Lagos Port, where is it? In Port Harcourt Port, they were pushed out sometime about 2 or 3 years ago. They were pushed out from the truck parks by the Nigerian Port Authority. Is this not a strategy to create a chaos in order to administer a solution that favors their individual pockets?
All right, so let us calm down. I can see how hot you are. And,
no, because when you push, the one you see is just this truck, dismantle it, auction it, sell it. But we are telling you the genesis and the roots. That man you're saying you're advising for his truck to be sold might tell you that Oga has been on this road for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Where is your call-up? He will show you. Are you sure? You will verify that his call-up is authentic and genuine. Maybe the man is bearing an export-laden container. Do you expect him for the cocoa, for the sesame seed, for everything inside the container to be damaging? He has to make move. And when they push the bulk on us, it is easier for citizens to see us as the ones that are breaking the rules, not knowing that these people have technically, strategically planted everything so that you and I will see it as, yes, they are the ones.
All right, now, with the way things are, and the Gridlock is coming back in Apapa, what is the way forward? The way forward is for the Nigerian Port Authority should cancel everything contract of call-up. If call-up is we are not averse to electronic call-up, but if they should rejig it, it should be coming from the terminal operators. Okay. It should be coming from the terminal operators at no expense to us, because the call-up cost about 21,000 naira. That is officially, but unofficially it cost about 100,000, 150,000. But the one that is an eyesore is the one they call the export processing terminal, EPT. I always say it every day. There is not export cargo that leaves this country without the trucker paying over 50,000, as much as 150,000 officially, Oga. Officially. That's what you pay. Yes. The non-official, do you still pay? Unofficially, you pay along the roads. That one is mandatory. All right. This is the Maritime and Border Show. Well, we've been talking to Mr. Collins, who's been talking about the gridlock that is building up again in Apapa and how best we can overcome it. As you know, this is an interactive program, and so we're going to open up our phone lines for you, our listeners, to join in with your questions, and he'll be here to answer them. You can get us on 0700 903 903 903.
You can also send us WhatsApp messages or call on 081 717 56338.
All right, I think I have my first caller. Some people are just eager to come on. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome. What's your name and where you're calling from, please?
This is Chief Joseph Okando.
You're welcome, sir.
Calling from Badagry, Apapa. Badagry.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I'll call you, please. Pilata.
Yes.
And your anchor at me.
Dili Otomi.
Otomi. Please, this man you are you have as your guest there. Adopt my task for him.
Okay.
I've never seen an eloquent person like that. May God continue to give him more knowledge.
Thank you.
So I can tell you that he's vast in his business. I have that knowledge of what they are passing through. They will not be in there because I'm not a transporter. But as a customs license agent, the whole picture that man is giving the world, maybe the WTO, yes, World Trade Organization, because that's where everything ends to. It's just the two picture we have in Nigeria here. Prince Yaka,
So,
at your earlier, information readout, you were giving us every detail concerning the port area. Both the meeting they had in Africa and everything. We were sometimes getting annoyed with the system, asking, is there no way for it to be improved? You see, when the foundation is faulty, there's nothing any man can do. You see, the corruption in Nigeria stems from a system that is implanted in our nationhood. There are some people that are there you cannot question. Even their cronies, whenever they are doing anything, you dare not go near them. So it is a problem that is following us in everything we do in this country, Nigeria. I said the other time that maritime industry is one of the largest employer of labor. But the thing we are seeing that is happening to us, that industry is every day they are discouraging people to go and invest there. Really, the truckers, I congratulate them because what they are seeing is beyond what you can say over the air. They carry every problem of import and export. So whatever I have told you here is reality.
right.
And how do we curb it? How do we come to a harmonized system? It's because we are corrupt and we don't want to change. Good move.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, sir. Mr. DK, I wanted to ask you, has there been any forum for you guys to really meet with NPA people and sort of itemize some of these things you're talking about here?
Yes, we've had different forums in the past, but as I've told you initially, what they normally do is to, will I be right if I call it excommunicate you?
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
You came Martins calling from Buckner.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good
sir. Go
afternoon,
ahead.
sir.
Good afternoon, my brother Chimaka. I listened carefully. I was start saying by when the head is sick, the entire body is sick. Secondly, when the righteous man is on the throne, people rejoice. When the wicked man is dead, people scamper for safety. Corruption alarming in Nigeria. Your analyst or your guest, I listened to him. All those things that happen in the Apapa, Silkan, on the road, uniform man, local government, state government, non-actors, such actors. Everything falls because the head is sick. If the head is not sick, you will not see those things happening there. And that's why I keep saying it. I was privileged to stay in a particular meeting concerning that Apapa. And somebody was really saying that you cannot do anything when they are talking about the corruption that happened in the maritime industry. Because he believed, he basically made a statement, if a man contested the election and the man did not win, the man maneuver everything, rig the election, share money, and made himself there into the seat of power. How do you think that the corruption can be fought in Nigeria? He will recruit people because a blind man cannot lead a blind man. So when we have a corrupt throne, or let me just correct a man who is corrupt sitting on the throne, that is why we begin to saw those things which people are discussing on the radio. I wish that this kind of discussion also comes to national television. That is the major problem. And when election time, when somebody wants to contest the election, who is that person? Come and tell us how you make your money, make all the money you want to spend. Somebody cannot get rich overnight, and the society is clapping for the person. The church, the mosque, religious organization are clapping for the person. How do you make your money before you become a governor, a president, a senator, House of Reps?
All right, sir, so that other people can call in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
You know,
Yeah,
go
on ahead.
You know, what the last caller said, when the head is bad, it just reflected on something.
It just hit you like a thunderbolt. Yes. Just hold on your thought there. Hello, good afternoon. Please, can you move from your radio, please?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Pastor from Ajakande.
Okay, go ahead.
Please, my brother, this thing that is happening, I thank God. This our brother that saying, my brother, I'm an agent. I'm at the airport container. It's really place. The transporter, the trailer driver, they are trying. The money they are collecting, okay, let me just give you an instance. For what? If one carry container now from work to Alaba. Are you hearing me?
Where with you?
They will give me 200,000 now. Let's cut container from work to Alaba. The 200,000, you will spend almost 190,000 now for this Alaba road. But usually, they don't use that boat bus of boost. If you are newcomer, when you use that boat for the medical, you sit back. They will call Oba of Ojo, 20,000. Oba of Shibiri, 20,000. Police corner, 10,000. Soja, 2,000. Are you making people clear me? Soja, 2,000.
I will explain.
Hello?
Well, we'll take
Go on ahead. I'm
They will take local government 20,000 or the local government 20,000. Import acquisition 30,000. You not call your import acquisition. What is the meaning of import acquisition? Are you people collecting permit? Because I'm saying they are the one that just organize it. Are you hearing me? When you just that boat, tunnel, that is all they are filling to under bridge. Once you want to enter that boat to Alaba, you will get not less than 170,000 from there. You will just move. If you don't, you will not go anywhere. And all other places, you should the same thing. What should be? If there is no order there, what should be? You can do the ratio. But if there is no order, you get it. Otherwise, we are in problem. Even in custom business, there is problem there.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Your thoughts.
You were trying to say something.
Yes, what the earlier caller said, when the head is bad, I can point you directly to the part of the genesis. Some people will sit at Abuja. Some people, the senators, they will form a committee. They will sit at their committee, and they will give the custom 11 trillion naira target. They will give the Nigerian Port Authority 1.7 trillion naira target. Tell me one agency in the port that is not a revenue generating agency. One. Even police now is turning into a revenue generating agency. You read it here now. Police is holding containers. Everybody wants to generate revenue, because when you generate this revenue, some are purified, some are stolen, so many things are happening. Now, now when you have people, you sit down.
Hold your thoughts again. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Chika. I'm calling from Apapa.
Okay, Chika, go ahead.
Yes. I just want to talk about the reasons for the congestion in Apapa port. In Chilaka, I've always agreed with all your analysts, but today I disagree with you because you're a bit selfish. So, let me give you the reason why I said that. As an exporter, you have paid all the charges. You've loaded your container. In fact, you pay both the seal that you use to seal the container. Customs will also ask you for the seal. If you don't pay for the seal, they will not release it. So you pay all those things. Everything is documented. Then the truck is about to go to the port to deliver the container to the ship. Now the MPA will bring their call up. You have to pay for it. And after paying for it, getting to the first gate, because there are so many gates before you get to the final destination.
How much do you pay for the call up?
Call up, exactly.
The call up, if you want to maneuver your way to, you want to buy, that maybe put it that you want to buy.
Buy from
you can
already has.
Or you want to buy, you can buy from MUB, you can buy from the MPA guy. So you can buy like 70,000, depending if you're on the passport, maybe like 117,000, depending how urgently you need it. But it's like flat body or empty container. It's just something between 30,000 to 40,000. But that is not the actual amount it's supposed to be.
How much is this
now,
supposed to be?
It's between 18 to 19,000 naira. Now, I'm talking as the owner of the truck, and I also still goods to people overseas. Then, after your document, the follow-up document is ready, the booking paper, export paper, everything is ready, just to go and drop. Then the first gate where you cross the barrier, the first barrier, then the MPA demands a certain amount of cash. So you pay for that. Sometimes driver go mad and say, I'm not going to pay that kind of amount of money. Then from that delay, you begin to see other truck coming to queue from the back. So from there, you see congestion. After that, you go to custom, first custom. Then they collect certain amount of cash. DSS are there. NGLE is there. What do you call them? Standard organization is there. Then after there, then I'm not talking about a huge amount of money. Then going to the second custom and second MP, same thing, cash. This money are not paid it's not documented, it's paid in cash. Then after there, you go to security to determine security. Then you cross-check your paper and they will stop you too. To computer guys, sometimes the computer guy will tell you that no, because of, I have to do a lot of work here, you pay extra amount of money. Then between the truck driver and the argument, you see the delay. This thing I'm just counting like this is almost like 3 hours. Just like 3 hours between moving and each. Then after the first computer side, you will meet another NDLE, DSS, standard organization, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Then another security will also check.
Inside the ports.
And they will give you another fee. So after that, that's where you pay, you keep paying. Before you get to the road bridge, another group will also ask you for one or two things to machine guys. If you refuse to pay, when you get to the a point where the crane guy will float the container, then you check and you don't pay their money. Then they delay the truck there.
Yes.
And the truck that's supposed to come in and see a float in the same place is parked somewhere waiting.
Crane operator.
So you will see all these things at the end of the day. Truck that's supposed to go inside and deliver this container within 1 hour, 2 hours, will spend more than 24 hours in the port.
Exactly.
So it has nothing to do with the truck drivers or the exporters or the importers. It is about the corruption in the port. If you want to remove the congestion, just tackle the corruption.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So please, with this description of how one point to the other, let me into it. What does it cost you from, let's say, from this point where we are, from this play area where we are, to go to the port and take your goods? And
You heard him now. You heard him. He said he said depending on how urgent you need. See, we've been saying this thing for over 5 years. We've been saying it. I can show you videos. We have been saying these things. But it's unfortunate that
Hello, good afternoon. Can you move from your radio, please? Your name and where you're calling from?
It's green.
My Augusta.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
Great your guest.
Thank you.
Greet you.
Good afternoon.
My name is Obinna Katumtomeji.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
You asked a question initially. Say why every agent like to create their rules. The reason is any agent, any worker of Nigeria that wake up in the morning want to go to his working place, he doesn't go there to work for Nigeria. What is going there is how much will I on with today. He's going there for business. That's the reason why all these things is happening. And it's very, very unfortunate. Things are all apart in Nigeria. The conclusion of all these things corruption. They are going there to work. How will I on with today? Will I let today?
Sorry, we can't hear you. Maybe you should call back, please.
Okay, there's a text message that came in here. It says, good afternoon, Prince Chilok and the other speakers. Prince, I'm not familiar with the operations of truckers, but a friend of mine who manages the fleet for a logistical firm laments bitterly to me about that arbitrary fees that they pay, either officially, semi-officially, or unofficially. All what I have heard so far isn't more different from what we pay as Owo Rita to street urchins in the construction world as well. This is from an architect called Olaliko in Ijayi.
I mean the things I'm hearing in terms of
it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. And then I don't understand with all this. Is it that the Nigerian Ports Authority is not aware? I mean, we need to establish it. Are they not aware of all this? The Nigerian Shippers Council, are they not aware? The police, are they not aware? So why is there so much madness in the system?
What you are describing now is like a fiasco.
Do you know what happens? Let me now tell you. Today, Mr. A is the head of the Nigerian Ports Authority. You meet them, they will say, yes, we've admitted your evidence, we've admitted your complaints, we've had your complaints, just give us time to work on it. 1 year, 2 years down the line, nothing has been done. And every passing day, this same abnormality keeps going on. And maybe the third or fourth year, Mr. A is removed as the MD of Nigerian Ports Authority, and Mr. B comes in. You start back again. The same process. And the other body that you mentioned, Shippers Council, or what do you call them? Those people has not been, they've never considered us. They just always call us for photo ops, image over impact. Yeah, don't worry, give them rice and turkey, they are okay. I'm telling you the truth.
And you guys will take the rice and turkey and forget your
no. Remember I told you, they have pseudo truckers, pseudo stakeholders.
Yeah.
See, a genuine trucker, a genuine transporter, we never have time to attend 30% of the meetings. That if he's called 10 meetings, he will never have time to attend 3. Because if manager is not calling, driver is calling, this, so many things.
Hello, good afternoon.
Are the meetings not designated at proper, are not scheduled certain days or certain
Sometimes,
times?
no. Sometimes you're not even aware of the meetings. Because they will just circulate
Impromptu.
yeah, they will circulate circulars to their people, even when you hear, you were not informed, you were not given official invite. So why being at the meeting? And when they know that they want to do their wayo movement, you see, that's the way they go. They always, I say, if I leave this studio now, Nigerian Port Authority can send somebody that will come and counter everything here.
Hello, good afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah, after once again, I calling from Apapa. I wanted to make a point, one more point, is very, very important. You see, this structure of truckers in the port is the major reason why the congestion can never go. Because, you know, the NPA, the custom guys who are expecting this money, they have their closing hours. Work from morning till from 6, maybe from 6 to 6, then another group will come. So if your call-up never you to come outside so that you come and pay the cash before the close work. You understand that kind of thing? So it now makes the truck that are not supposed to come outside, they will stamp it to move outside because they need that cash before another group resumes. So that's the major reason why you see this thing can never go until all those things are being corrected. And why is it that you go pick empty container from outside bonded terminal to go and transfer to go deliver in the port? Getting to the port, they will tell the truck driver that
the container not the enter.
Yeah, you need to enter that the shipping business is closed, or maybe the ship is not available, or there is no space. So the truck driver will not have the truck on his head. He must park somewhere.
Exactly.
Because he spend a lot of money.
Exactly.
It's quite unfortunate.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, let me buttress on the point he made. You know, I initially told you that there is no proper handshake between the terminal operators and this electronic company called ATO. You know, sometimes these shipping companies, the shipping lines, they have designated spaces at the terminal. Maybe this is your space, this is your space. When the space of shipping company A is getting filled, the terminal will inform the shipping company, your space is getting filled, though. You better pay for another space, or you better manage your space. Now, if the shipping company is reluctant in making payments, of course, everybody wants to maximize profits. Now, what will happen if me, as a trucker, I'm carrying the container of shipping company A, approaching the terminal, and on getting there, the terminal has already shut off the space for the shipping company. What do you think will happen? And I've paid my A2. Maybe I bought the A2 100,000, or I've gone through the normal process. I'm spent over 1 week or 2 weeks. I'm being frustrated, and I'm getting in front of the ports, and they are telling me that the container is not entering. Mr. Chiakada said they should auction the truck. What will you do?
You move the truck away from there.
To where? At what cost? Whose cost? Do you know whether that's my last penny I used to put the diesel in the truck?
So because of your last cost, other people should suffer.
No, not other people should suffer. The agency that is in charge of operating everything should suffer it, and not the trucker. That's how we should be.
No, if the trucker decides to block the road, no, please,
okay.
Let us be civil
okay.
Here. If the trucker decides to block the road, who suffers?
The trucker is not deciding to block the road. The trucker wants to go to the port and do business. You've authorized me to come and drop this container.
Legitimately.
Of course, we are legitimate.
So
the whole electronic,
my own
the whole ATO process, the document has been confirmed. You've authorized me to go inside APMT and drop the container. Why is APMT now stopping me on the access road to tell me that the container, whose fault is it?
The supervising agency should have people removed from their position as a
because of this thing.
Yeah.
When Muhammad Buhari came to the port, I said over 400 trucks were turned. Let us assume that we have 30,000 naira per rubber of diesel, calculated by 400 trucks. Who paid? Nobody even apologized to truckers.
Hello, good afternoon.
Nobody.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
No,
Your name
good
is
afternoon.
where you're calling from.
I'm Evangelist Israel.
Okay, you're welcome.
The problem we have in Nigeria is that our blood has been contaminated with corruption. Starting from number one man as the presidency.
No, please, we will not take that from you, sir.
Please.
You're not. So you see that these things, in fact, the only person that maybe to an extent we give kudos to an extent, to a little extent, because it's alleged that sometimes he visits the port, was this man, what's his name, Amechi, when he was the Ministry of Transport. Sometimes some of the people say they saw him coming to the port at night, but the results were not there because we needed this.
Not visible.
In fact, when was former Vice President to Sibanjo?
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling?
Yes, as I was telling you, used to let us analyze our problem.
What's your name and where you calling him from? Please, what's your language, sir? Why you talk on air?
Yes, I will watch my language, but I will not stop the defying God in truth. When we fight corruption in Nigeria, we get better. God is said that righteousness exalts a nation. Number one man in Nigeria should start righteousness. It's not me. That's what we see. Everybody that
Hello.
God. Whatever action you do, you exalt God or you exalt Satan. Whatever you do, and Nigerians have been so good in doing bad. Nigerians. Is it how America grew up? Is it how India grew up? Why can't we have a law and abide law and everybody stand by law? Why are we sectionalizing our law? Everybody is wearing uniform. I'm going to port, I'm going to MPA, I'm going to this, to go and look for my pocket. Is that how government should be run? Government should allow everybody equal right. Equal right is government. And God is crying because whatever you do will affect the last man in the womb. What the first man will do?
Oh, interesting. We've lost him, sir.
You are making a point.
So sorry, I've lost the track.
Okay, go back to the point you're making about the head being the
most times you see them in Abuja offices making statements, especially our senators, the ones in charge of maritime. They give these people bogus amounts of money, bogus targets to meet, and you see them scampering everywhere to scamper money. Of course, definitely some are going into their individual pockets. Why will everybody's now a revenue generating agency, and we see it unfold every day? This is not how things are being done.
And then when you do that, you relegate your supervisory role.
Exactly, your supervisory role. So these things, they keep happening, and we've been complaining. They find it easy to kick us under the bus because they know that they've balkanized us, they've almost tactically destroyed us. Nobody is able to speak up. In fact, when you speak up, they will get somebody to come and counter speak what you've spoken. Everything is happening.
Yeah, but you keep speaking up now. Like you say,
hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
This is Prince calling from Ikoto.
You're welcome, Prince. Go ahead.
God bless you. Please, I've been hearing your conversation. You see, we Nigerians, we know the truth, and we are running from the truth. For example, like what one man says about this corruption issue. Remember when Buhari was elected? If you remember, the whole station, every station changed their behavior. Every worker, some ghost workers begin to go to work. Later was bringing light because the way they thought Buhari was before, everybody was afraid to lose his job. Later, they come back to normal. They know the right. Corruption is everywhere. Until we get to the right of it, we cannot get anything from there. God bless.
Thank you, sir. All right. Let's begin to round up. Let's begin to come back.
Let me ask you a question. Will you still opine that the owner of the truck should be the
No.
auctioned?
Honestly, let me be very honest with you. Two wrongs don't make a right. Okay. And that's my position.
Okay.
I don't think it is proper for any truck driver, because you are not being allowed into the ports, because you feel that you have paid all the dues, and because you feel that you're going to incur more debt, you now block the road. There are better ways to do these things.
Okay.
And that better way is to negotiate.
Okay.
If everybody begins to go mad at the same time,
okay,
then there will not be sanity.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Assuming you get to a toll gate, and after payment for the toll gate, and the toll person refuses you to pass, what will you do?
I'll clear.
You clear
and sort it out. Yes.
And especially then when you have
that is the way.
If you clear and park, the last man will tow your vehicle. Where will you park?
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mike. I'm calling from the story of Lagos.
All right, go ahead.
Honestly speaking, corruption is a bad bit. Ordinarily, okay, for instance, let me just give you an instance example. Terminal manager. Now, if you rent and pay their normal terminal charges, to write TDO, they say no network. They carry you through to another day or that day, and the rating for you be paying there, and yet no network. Whose fault? You know why I'm saying this? Why are Nigerians like this? Many Nigerians are crying. God is really looking for this country because nothing is going to waste. But now you tell me, what are you going to negotiate? You have done the right thing you're supposed to do. You have paid all the necessary charges. So allow you now go in, you start negotiating. Negotiate for what? It's just that we can, for instance, woman was trying to say something, but let us be hiding and dying. You cannot speak the truth. In any part of the world, president is part of the people. If the president is not giving anything, you think he's not giving anything right. But yeah, the people say, you don't want us to go that, let it be. One thing is this, when the head is rotten, there is nothing you can get from the neck down to the foot. Right. It's a simple analysis. Nigeria is corrupt, and corruption is the order of the day. They have God help us to change.
Thank you, sir. Now, my own position, like I said, is you don't, because you have been disenfranchised, you now decide that everybody should be held to ransom. That is hostage.
Nobody is deciding that people should.
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Mr. Gordon, calling from Ikorodu.
You're welcome, sir.
It's easier said than done. Mr. Chinaka, I heard what you said to negotiate. I'm a clear image of that. Where you say you want to negotiate, will you carry your truck on your head? Even the so-called LACMA, that is, they are too opportunistic. That is the time they pull your vehicle. And once they pull your vehicle, if you cannot settle them there, they take it to their garage, whether my two or wherever. They'll be calling hundreds of thousands. I've been a victim several times. So, it's corruption in every sector. Even we, the clearing agent, we do have our application. The reason that, a kind of monitor and, speak on behalf of the agent. But what I now observe is that sometimes they only go there for their selfish interest. So when they have their own personal job, they go to customers that they copy tax and they receive their job at the app. You that is nobody and you are just ordinary clearing agent. You remember, and they say they are representing you, and you are paying some bills anytime you do from job. So it's something that has people into the fabric, So it's a systematic thing. If we should have government that is clear to themselves, because all things start from the head. If they start, you know that even in Lagos where we have the major port, there are some money they need to Abuja to allow certain things to go unofficially. So if we have to continue discussing this, we cannot get it. You can't think it to the next day.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let me still inform you that this same operational the dysfunctions, they still plan to implement it, because in River State, where we have in Port Harcourt, no traffic, nothing, but some of MPA retirees, some retired staff of MPA, they've still gone ahead they are collecting 15,000 naira for just nothing in Port Harcourt. They called it electronic call-up, 15,000 naira. And because the unions over there, they are just interested in collecting monies inside the terminal, nobody's opposing it. Of course, we've done our own bits by challenging the matter is in court. That's why we are not, at least I don't have to go into the legality. The court should decide. But the issues around these things how it's affecting the business, how it's affecting the whole economic outlook of the country. What we have is the ministers, the MDs of MPA, junketing everywhere, trying to, but beneath, there is massive corruption.
Hello, good afternoon.
That's it, sir.
Afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Pastor from Gridlock.
Okay, go ahead.
Please, this maritime police, why is serious? They are collecting, they are.
All right.
There's a message coming in here. He says, I once helped a friend that manages a fleet to block one of his trucks around Dokbemo on a Sunday because it was close to my location while he rushed down. Upon getting there, boys were demanding 1.5 million naira as a security for not looting a fully loaded truck overnight.
Yes, now.
That eventually paid 750,000 naira to boys.
Yes, now.
That is...
Yes, now. It happens. It's still happening.
Please, how do you people cope with these kinds of arbitrary payments?
And the thing is that we meet them with same madness they meet us. One, you don't have to show that you are desperate to move the truck. Secondly, you have to report to the nearest police station. Because when you show this desperation, they see that you are eager. Definitely, the DPO or the police station, they will be very, 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 very reluctant to follow you. But when you insist on your right, you tend to get a bit. You are going to spend money, but it wouldn't be up to that because they see how big the container is. They think we are carrying dollars inside, so they feel not knowing that sometimes as a trucker. Let me tell you, in this Lego, somebody driving Koroko is somehow better than the person owning the truck.
Hello, good afternoon.
Ridiculous.
Hello.
750,000 naira.
And you have a government. Yeah. We've complained severally to the government, and as I told you, they will tell you go and bring evidence, go and do this. What did they vandalize? See, I've been to most police stations, they will still say you the same thing. Did they vandalize anything? Did they do anything? They will be reluctant. They will wait till
why are the police reluctant?
If you ask me, now who I go ask? So that they will come and say, I said this, I said, we all know the reason.
I don't know the reason.
You don't know. Abi, you're pretending not to know.
I don't know. You are the one on the forefront, so tell us.
See, most times when you report these cases at the police stations, 99.9% is that the police people, they know the particular person at that the person in charge of that particular area.
Okay.
This Agora, Amu Odofe, I will use it as an. Once you say this thing is happening, they even know who to call. But I ask myself, why are you still allowing these miscreants to be doing this same thing? It still boils down to the political will. Still boils down to the political will. And these most of these DPOs, they are being changed every 4 market days. I don't know why. Most times they will complain that they don't have enough manpower to resist all these things. And the financial consequences are not.
Sorry, but when the police say they don't have enough manpower, they have enough manpower to man checkpoints.
Of course, that's why we give them quick money now, my brother. So you see, it still boils down on the political will.
Maybe, Francis, one of these days we do a stint of operation. We'll follow them to go and experience. So
I had one bitter experience, was it 2 or 3 years ago, at Apple Junction. I decided to, because I easily get irritated by this thing. You will say I blocked the road, but let me explain to you the instant. The area boys, removed my tank cover from my truck at Apple Junction. I just told the driver, give me a 7. I told them, without my tank cover, my truck cannot move. It's as simple as, did I block the road? A miscreant came, vandalized my vehicle because it's vandalism.
Yeah.
And I'm telling them, sorry sir, without my tank cover coming back here, my truck will not move. Because the government has failed in their own part to remove these miscreants that are causing directly or indirectly causing this thing. But tomorrow, everybody will look at me, I'm blocking the road, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So the other caller said, it is easier said than done. I said, at the port access road, you're looking at last man men, waiting like hungry dogs, waiting for you. Once you attempt to park, tow van is hooking your vehicle immediately, and you go and start negotiating your way out. So that's why the caller said it's easier said than done. Most of these things, and nothing is being done about it. Even the economic regulators, lame dogs, sitting on their hands. They are easy to kick us under the bus. So that's just what has been happening. And
Hello.
This is the Maritime and Border Show.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name,
What's your name and where are you
Yeah.
calling it from, please?
Yeah, my name is Dr. Bashir Andy, a stakeholder in the industry.
All right.
I appreciate your efforts. Yes, and I want to appreciate your guests. Honestly speaking, he has spoken well. But you know, in life, nobody, no society that wants to move forward will accommodate corruption.
Exactly.
Corruption anywhere, anytime can condemn. However, he is one of the chief boss of truckers in Nigeria. I had expected him, to tell Nigerians or stakeholders in the maritime industry what initiative his organization, particularly under him, is able to, or they are able to bring sanity, or in order to enhance sanity, particularly concerning the lack of, attitudinal non-compliance of their drivers. It is unprofessional for a driver to take a truck and block the road, especially on port access road. Highly unprofessional, and he has not said anything. He's condemning the government. Fine, everybody is entitled to his opinion. But to me, if I'm the one, I will be able to tell the world our challenge. He said they are not under one umbrella. What effort are they doing to come together to be speaking with one voice? What any other initiative have they done? Is breaking the world good? Will it enhance efficiency? No. Is truckers that are found of translating people's container, missing containers, all of these are being attributed to truckers. You give them, you trust your containers to them, they will take it to destination. While you empty it, ask them to bring it back. It will become a story. What are they doing about all this?
Okay. You react to this. Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you very, very much for asking that question. Dr. Bashir, thank you very much. He said something about
You have 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. He said something about what have you done to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
In the maritime transport industry, of course, I consult with the older people in the industry. Some of them are our grandfathers in the industry. They have several unions from Jacos to Jakoto to this one to NATO. I don't want to start mentioning names. They are bogus. In one of the unions I've affiliated with, they've written over 150 letters to all these government bodies and nothing has been done. And remember I mentioned it initially. Part of their strategy is to always tell you there is freedom of association, because they've used the pseudo trucker to form another union that will try to serve their purpose. This is what they have been doing. And also you mentioned is blocking the road the solution. My brother, on several occasions I have video evidence where even these street urchins have caused the failure and the downfall of trucks. It has even killed people. The other time in Kirikiri, it killed 2 brothers. The other time in a trade fair, it killed even a police officer. The other time it kills a soldier. So most times we see that even the government agencies are not giving us solutions. So on that day, I decided to get the solution myself, because these people, they vandalized, they've destroyed our properties. And now he said, in terms of returning the containers, I will still tell you the terminal operators. He said when they give us container, we find it difficult. There's a terminal called Hexagovin Terminal in Kirikiri. I'm mentioning their name, Hexagovin Terminal in Kirikiri. They're collecting 30,000 naira to drop empty container, Hapaloid empty container. In one of the instances, I had a very big issue with Hapaloid. I sent them a mail. Please, where can I drop my container? They directed me to the terminal to drop the container. I went to the terminal. I stayed there for over 3 hours. The terminal could not respond to me. They told me their machines are not good. First and foremost, I even encountered area boys in front of the terminals to drop the container. I replied back to Apapa, this is what is happening. They didn't respond. I took the container back to my terminal. I dropped it at the floor.
All right.
So most of the time, I tell you, they are easy to kick us under the bus. And the other of your callers said, it is easier said than done. You need to witness this thing to know the pains, to know the... So when...
All right,
that's show. It's been such a hot talk today.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting, and like we said, this is VOP 90.3. We, like I keep saying, this is where you just express yourself.
Yeah.
You say it the way it is. Nobody stops you. And the bottom line of it is that we're calling out on the federal government to please the state government, the local government chairman. I mean, a lot has been said about these street urchins. Something needs to be done. The government cannot close their eye and say that all is well when all is not well.
Yeah.
So this is where we come to the end of today's program, the Maritime and Border Show. We'll be here next week, Sunday, with another guest. We'll be continue to look at how best to ensure that the ease of doing business in Nigeria becomes a reality. My name is Prince Chilaka.
My name is Dilio Tommy. It's been nice talking with you guys, having you guys on the show today. Mr. DK.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
See you next week for another edition of the Maritime and Border Show.
Thank you.
Thank you.